don't make us who we are. So I'll dream until I make it real, and all I see is...
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mentorship Mondays with Michelle and Maren. And guys, it has been a week. There has been so much that's been going on. It's been a really good week. How about you, Maren? How are you? Been a good week?
I am really good. It
Yeah,
has been a really good week.
yeah. A lot of learning, and I've been super busy. My email, my email is a whole other story because it has been on a whole journey of its own. And so I'm working with that, but everything has its purpose. So I'm just going with it. But what I wanted to start with today is I got this book in the mail. I'm going to show everybody this book. It's called
Mommy,
Mommy.
what is a spirit
What is
guide?
a Spirit Guide? And it's
Aw.
um the author is Julie Schlomer. And Julie, she has been a member of Channeling Eric for quite some time. And I know she's worked with many of the different mediums, and actually a few of them are mentioned in this book that assisted her. And Julie has been a client of mine before as well. And she told me a while back that she was doing this book, and she's going to be on the radio show coming up. So if you guys tune into Eric's Hour of Enlightenment, which is Tuesday nights on Blog Talk Radio, we can put the link in. We'll put the link in so people can link into the show. But Julie's going to be on at the end of February, and she's going to talk about this book and kind of talk about where it came from, but also about Eric. And I thought this was just awesome because even though it's a children's book, there are these basic little, it's a little conversation about Julie's family. And I'll read this first little line here. It just says, "In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. He decided to create people to live on earth. One family was named the Schlomers: Mom, Julie, Dad, Ryan, and twins Alyssa and Logan." And so this is Julie's actual family. "God knew life wouldn't always be easy, so he created a group of helpers called the Spirit Family. The Spirit Family lived in heaven and helped guide people on earth. The Spirit Family could be spirit guides, angels, and loved ones that have passed on to heaven. So a spirit guide is a very special friend that is always with you." So it goes on to talk about the guardian angel, ascended masters. And she brings forward Mother Mary. And then she shows Logan, her son, with Archangel Michael and Eric Matthews. So I'll show you the...
That's so cool.
Isn't that adorable? So there's Eric giving a little peace sign with his curly hair and everything. I think that's adorable. His little red...
I love it. I love that. So cool. You can make it into the book.
Yeah, I think that's really, really sweet. So some of the things, so I'm just, rather than me reading the book, and we will slip the link in here. It's available on Amazon, and I think she's got a promotion on for the month on Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But we'll put the link in the description, so if you guys want to purchase the book, this is a great book to have in your library, especially if you have kids that are honestly, your kids are learning about spirit, helping introduce them to the idea of spirit guides and angels and whatnot. So it's a very easily understood book and gives some great examples. So I'll just read some of the lessons in here. So she talks about ancestors that have passed away, and the lesson to this, she also talks with their cat that passed away. Our loved ones are in spirit and are by our side. So talking about even the cat is an animal spirit guide. She also talks about angels and ancestors are always ready to help you with your life. And the illustration is just awesome in this too. It's a really nice illustration. Another lesson: spirit guides are real. And for anybody, I'm pretty sure all those watching this know this already, but I mean, if you don't think your spirit guides are real, then you get a surprise for you. Everyone has a spirit guide. Everyone has a spirit guide is another lesson.
Or multiple, yeah.
Oh, yes, and actually, we do have multiple spirit guides. Sometimes we'll have a spirit guide that's with us majority of our life, but they interchange as well because a lot of spirit guides have, somebody that's writing. You might have a guide with you, or an ancestor, or somebody that is connected to writing, or if you're into finances or whatever you're doing. So you can always call upon a spirit guide that specializes in whatever you're doing. Chances are they're already there, but you can call upon them too. A lesson meditation helps you connect with your spirit guides, which is very true. Lesson mediums can relay information from spirit guides, which I find are always a lot of fun when people come and their sessions are, can you help me connect with my spirit guides, or let me know which spirit guide is here right now and what messages do they have for me? Because we often, and pets come through all the time. Pets come through for people. Yes, loved ones. What we were talking about this around Christmas, Jesus will come through for a lot of people, and had been recently. Lesson spirit guides are always by your side, and they're just talking about some different situations that her kids were going through, and talking about the protection of your spirit guides being there. Your spirit guide is beside you, helping you conquer your fears. Your loved ones that have passed your loved ones that have passed over are right beside you, and that is true as well. And Maren and I were just talking about how they are really a thought away. They're really a thought away, and that is so true. Loved ones are by your side, but they can't interfere with your life lessons. And this is a big one too, because a lot of people will be like, well, if I've got spirit guides and I've got angels, then why did this happen to me? And why did I go through this? Or why do I experience pain? Why do I experience suffering? Well, as hard as it is of a pill to swallow for us to understand that our lessons and a lot of what we experience has a self-creation to it, when we understand energy, our spirit guides are here to honor what our soul has contracted us to experience. And a contract, and this could be a whole other topic, but just to explain briefly, a contract or a blueprint that we're experiencing in life is not necessarily this, like everything you do is by contract. Everything that you do is planned out. It's more like an overview. It's like having a foundation of a certain direction that you may choose to follow, and that you create in spirit with the help of other guides, other spirit helpers, to obtain certain lessons in life, to help go through and to bring back more wisdom in your soul, experience in your soul, because beyond the physical reality, it can't be experienced, because we have that free will here. We have that density, which goes through experiences in a physical reality, and that is not what we are beyond the physical body. So when you talk about going through life lessons that are difficult, if your soul has set for you, say, to experience a disease, or has said, if you go down this path, this will be an outcome or a challenge that you'll work through. Well, the spirit guide's not going to step in, or an angel's not going to step in to wipe that away from you, because your soul has desired to experience that. Now, maybe it's been set up that if I get to this point, if I'm able to recognize, if I ask for help, if I, because we're all different in different ways, can they intervene? Or if this is something that I didn't contract in my life, can they intervene? Well, that's how we have situations where some people experience something and some people don't, but they might be experiencing something else. So they will never interfere with your life lessons. Spirit guides are not scary ghosts. They are friends that are here to help us. And that's very true. They will often show themselves in orbs, in pictures. I was just talking to somebody the other day that I do art channeling, and I channel people's spirit guides with art and send it to them, and I'll send like a channeled message. And some of the pictures, I mean, if you were to see them in physical form, you might get a little bit freaked out. But and I mean, like, some, they're different animals or different type, I would say, creatures or vibrations. But they're not scary. And a lot of them will come to us in a way that is not alarming. So they might come like a cat, or they might come as a beautiful woman or something, in a way that is going to be more of an ease to us. Spirit guides. What's that? Were you gonna say something?
Oh no, that's so interesting. Yeah.
Spirit guides help you go with the flow of life and to not get upset. The lesson is especially important for empath. Well, and that is true. They do help us be able to let go of holding on to pain. Pain has its purpose, but living in pain, living within the pain and not being able to let go, that's what they're there to help us do, to help us flow with our experience and let go, surrender to the state of wanting to be in control, because that's what pain will continually cycle when we try to control it. They help us do the right thing. Meditation brings you closer. So I won't go through every single one, but there's a really good snippet of it. And of course, it's much more detailed and really beautiful. So Julie did an awesome job, and yeah, available on Amazon. But it's interesting
I
because
love that. I'm going to check that out today, because that has really good lessons that you can talk about, and really kind of explains what a spirit guide is. And I need to give it to my family, because I feel like when I say, oh, well, my spirit guide, they're like, you're what? You're
Well,
you're crazy.
When I had my awakening, sure, I've got my tooth is like rubbing against my tongue, so if I'm talking funny, that's why. But when I had my awakening, like right after I had surgery, I had no idea what a spirit guide was. No idea whatsoever. Like I knew, of course, I understood guardian angels and that sort of thing, but the idea of a spirit guide didn't make any sense to me. And that's how I found Eric. That was the very first spirit guide I'd ever encountered, or he found me, or however else we want to say it. But yeah, so it gives a really good, like I said, some adult. It's not just for kids.
Yeah.
Some adults
We all need that. Yeah. I feel like I had heard my spirit guide like throughout my life. Like I'd be in the shower and I would like hear like this man talking to me. And I don't know, I just felt like it was like my conscious or God or something. I didn't realize that it was a spirit guide until, again, I had my awakening too. And then I was like, oh, you're an actual person or spirit, like talking to me. I had no idea. Like, that's really cool. Like, I've been listening my whole life. But, and I feel like sometimes they come with like beautiful messages. Like when you say protection, remember I told you about that meditation where like this Native American woman came to me and she said she was going to protect me. And then at the end of the meditation, she put like bear prints on my back. And then I Googled that, and that actually means protection. So like, that's really cool. But then sometimes I feel like they're a little bit vague with their answers, or like they're just not quite as direct maybe as like our family members. So this morning I was meditating and I said, hey, like what's going to get me and my husband to the next level? Like what do we need to do? Like what's that one specific thing that we need to do to get to our lives to the next level? And I heard, you need to enjoy every day. And I was like, what? Like, did I just make that up? Like, that's too easy. Like, there's no way, And then I saw a seal. So I was like, okay, spiritual meaning of a seal. And I thought, okay, well, this is surely going to have the answer or the key to like what is going to take us to the next level. And it was like, seals are to remind us to enjoy each day. And I was like, oh my gosh. So clearly I heard the right message. but it's just so vague.
It is.
So
yeah, it is.
what do you have to say about like what's
Well, and I've heard that before. Like I've heard people say, I asked for a message from my spirit guide, whether it could come from somebody else, in meditation, or asked a question and I got something like, what do I need to know? And it was like you said, like be happy. What do you need to know? Make good decisions, get more sleep, like things like that.
yeah, it's so
So,
simple. Like it's yeah.
yes. So think about how we've talked about spirit speaking in metaphor a lot of times, because you have to remember that our spirit family, spirit guides, whoever we're speaking to that is not within our same dimensional space, they're speaking to us with vibration and they're coming in. So, how do I explain this? If we're having a conversation with our spirit guides, and the more detailed that we get, okay, that we may get answers back, but they're going to speak in whatever way they're best able to deliver the message in the quickest, easiest way for you to hear. So, coming back to you and saying, how do I get to the next level? They're not really going to give you a list of steps of things to do, right?
That's what I want.
Right. And that's what most of us want. But the other thing is, too, your spirit guides are not here to tell you how to do everything. They're here to help you take the guidance and to maneuver. Again, our spirit guides are here to honor our free will of experience in the physical. And that's number
Oh,
one.
that makes so much sense. Like it's a hint. It's not the directions because that's what you're
Right.
here for.
Right.
It's like the lesson is in the like journey, but they'll
Right.
give you like a little hint.
So
Okay.
think of it as a game. So think of it as pulling cards, like playing charades or playing a game, and you have to kind of like, you get the card, but there's deeper meaning. You're on a scavenger hunt. There's deeper meaning for it, right? So don't discount those messages, because you might hear this and hear something that a lot of people hear, and they're going to discount it and say, oh my God, that's what everybody hears. Well, what exactly does that mean? We're hearing like, love yourself, love
Mm.
yourself, give yourself more love, give yourself more attention, be compassionate to yourself, be compassionate to others. Well, first of all, like we said, it's going to come in vague because it's going to give you that hint, that base message, that something to grow on. And so you want to take that, okay, don't discount what you hear. So if you're hearing get to the next level, or you're hearing self-compassion, or, have more joy, like you had heard, okay, well, what does that mean right now? So am I focusing on what it is that I need to do, but I don't know what it is that I need to do? And what is the message here? The message is, if I take my attention and focus on what gives me pleasure, if I take my attention and focus on what gives me a sense of joy, why is that going to help me get to the next level? How would that help me grow? Well, because joy or love, compassion, has a vibrational quality. And you have to remember, guys, that this is physics, right? This is spirituality, is science and spirit. It is together. It is not separate. So we start to speak about energy, and we're talking about vibration. And so there's a vibrational quality to the experience of joy, to connecting to that feeling, because we're not being spoken to really with words, we're being spoken to through vibration. So we can hear words, yes. We can perceive words or echoes, or however we hear it and feel it and see it and know it, but it is a vibration. And so if we take the quality of that vibration, so here's a scenario where, well, if I'm experiencing joy, but what if I don't feel joy in my life? What if I'm in a space where I'm feeling a lot of negativity because, all these things are going wrong? Well, to be able to stop that cycle, is to be able to inject some joy, because the cycle of negativity only builds the cycle of negativity. So if you've been running your life like a wheel in the mud and you keep running it through that cycle, you're just going to dig that deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're going to sink. But you want to stop that cycle. So you need to connect with something that is of joy. But is it putting into something that is faking it? Like, it doesn't mean I'm going to be happy and joy and I'm going to put positivity, I'm going to run around, I'm going to spread sunshine everywhere. But inside, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like, this is faking. I can't do this. It's not about that. It's about acceptance of, okay, like, these things are going on in my life and this is how I feel right now. But what if spending time with my child makes me happy? What if going for a walk outside makes me happy? What if watching this one TV program makes me laugh? Petting my dog makes me happy. We want to take snippets of that vibration, snippets of whatever that joy is, what makes me feel good, being in my garden, listening to this music. And we want to put that in our life and then start to build that into our daily momentum at whatever pieces we can grasp out of the day, and let that be our focus. Because a lot of times the things that are hurting us, that are upsetting us, that we're rolling in that pain or discomfort or the curiosity or the frustration, whatever it is there because we don't know how. We don't know what the next steps are, or we have fear of what it could be. And we want to try and control, right?
So what I was going to, oh, go ahead.
No,
Do
go
you
ahead.
finish with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
What you made me think about was when you were talking was like, I don't really feel like I'm thinking negative. Like I feel like I'm a pretty happy person, you know? But then I was like, well, if they told me that, then maybe there are times where I'm not getting the joy or focusing on the joy like I should be. And Eric reminded me of this like one activity for something totally different where you set a timer on your phone throughout the day. Cause I was like, what are my emotions? And then you're supposed to set a timer 3 times throughout the day, morning, noon, and night, and then write down what you were thinking. But I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll turn this into write down what emotion am I experiencing right now to see, am I experiencing joy? And if I'm not, then what could I do in that moment to experience joy? So you're saying like implement joy throughout your day. So now I'm going to try this timer thing to try to implement
That's
more
excellent.
joy.
Because
Yeah.
it doesn't mean, like, you know, it's an example of maybe somebody's in this rotation of negativity, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily in negativity. Because
Yeah.
with you've been working on all kinds of things over this last year, and you're in a very positive space, but you're asking to get to the next level. Well, you know, we could talk about things like, you know, the expectation of myself, or the overwhelm of what I have to do, or my thoughts of, you know, wanting to take care of this and take care of this, and am I doing enough here? It's taking the mind off of what we try to subconsciously
Yeah.
control, because that is what's running a momentum. And no matter where you are, whether it's you, anybody else that we're speaking to here, no matter where you are, you can put a stop in the spoke of that wheel and start to change the momentum of it, because we're always moving. You're
So
going to
he's
say,
so smart because that is actually the activity that he told me about. I just was changing it to emotions, but that's actually the activity, is that you're supposed to do this timer to become more conscious of your thoughts, because the whole thing is that we are driven by our unconscious thoughts, or
right,
what our energy. And so you're supposed to do the timer to take a snapshot of what your unconscious thoughts are, so you even
right,
just become aware of what your unconscious energy is.
exactly. Makes so much sense.
Okay,
He's
you
so
two,
smart.
must know each other well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, we're all into one big brain. He's like carrying like this giant brain, like we're all part of the big brain.
Oh my
Um,
God, that's
but
really cool.
but it is, you know, we're stopping the momentum, and we're adding in something different. We're putting in some, and so at first when we do these things, we might not, we might think like, oh, you know, is this really working? Or we might think about it a bit and take a little thought to think about, well, where am I and what does make me happy? But when we actually do these things, and the act of doing what you were just talking about, that actual practice will stop the momentum, because that's a practice in itself. And what you're doing is you're putting mindfulness into your day. So you're breaking up that other energy, and that will allow you to make different decisions. That will allow you to direct your energy in another way. And if you were to do that every day, if you were to incorporate that as often as you can, you will start building a different momentum. And that's how energy works, because we attract what we are. So we attract what we feel, what we think, what we do, our intent. It's all together. And that's an energetic program. So when we're sending that out into the world, we're then going to receive that vibrational frequency back to us as an experience. And so we really do have the control over what it is that we experience. We may not have the exactly how things are going to happen or all of that detail, but we know that if we take a stock and a mindfulness of where we're at, and we do our best with that, and we keep putting that out there, we keep that consistency, it's just going to keep coming back to us, and it has to grow. It is, it has to, it can't not. That's the way universal law is. That's the way energy is. And so if you follow physics and you look at how energy responds and you get into that, you'll see that's how it has to be. And that's how you create your own miracles. That's how you create synchronicity. And the other thing is when you start to do that and you're open to receiving validations and synchronicities, you will notice them, and that synchronicity will show you the little breadcrumbs of your growth. Why? Because you'll feel it first. Because when you do this, you feel it. So you may not even have physical examples of things changing in your life yet, but you're going to feel it first. And when you feel it, then it's like, oh, this feels good doing this. I'm going to keep doing this because I'm feeling better and better and better. And the more I do this, the better I feel. And then the synchronicities occur. And then things just keep on going. And that's really why, and Eric is just saying, why do you think the vagueness and really saying inject more joy? Because the exploration of coming to these ideas and these experiences is part of the joy of what we're here to experience. So being told exactly what to do and how to do it is no different than taking direction from the outside of us, from anybody else. So if we're just exchanging the, neighbor, the parent, the whomever, that we're following everything and we're disregarding our own beliefs and our own feelings, well, we can't just exchange that with our spirit guides and do exactly what they say and go like this. They're here to guide us. And they're here to guide us with an example, a direction, and to help us navigate that with our own feelings. Make sense?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Eric and Spirit Guides, and to the author of the book. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Julie, thank you. You give us a really
Julie.
great topic to talk about. Spirit guides are amazing, and I'll show you. I have a client who sent this to me, and this is my little Eric on my desk, my little spirit guide. It's my little dragonfly.
Aww.
Yeah. So it is a reminder to me that they're always there, that they're always with us, and they're always helping us. And don't forget to ask. Like your asking is how we got to our conversation today. And so you can see that even though you're asking for you, the value of that question has spread exponentially through every person that hears it, which makes it even bigger, more wonderful. And that's joy.
Yeah.
For me, that's joy. It feels good.
Oh, thank you so much, Michelle.
You're welcome.
I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Well, guys, there's another session for today. But we will see you again next week. And thank you so much for being here. We love you all. And bye, Maren. Have a good weekend.
All right. Bye, Michelle. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.